Corners again, ole ole. Corners again, ole ole. Corners again, corners again, corners again, ole ole. Welcome to the match reaction video here on Latte Firm. Arsenal have comfortably beaten Manchester United tonight, made light work of the victory over this mid-table club. 2-0, thanks to goals from Urian Timber and William Saliba from the corners. Delightful stuff. Former Manchester United players have lost their minds. Tony Pulis, FC, Stoke, FC, etc. Inject it, drink it in, embrace it. I love it. Welcome to the channel. If you are tuning in for the first time, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel and all that sort of jazz. Get involved in the chat. It's beautiful. It's just gone midnight. It's now Thursday, the 5th of December. How fast this year is passing by, how Christmas is just on the horizon and the festive football just continues to come thick and fast. And Liverpool have gone to St. James's Park. Alex Isak, boyhood Arsenal fan, do me a favour. And he delivered. Wow. They've dropped points. Arsenal have won. The gap is narrowing. Liverpool, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. Get involved in the chat. What a beautiful day. Arsenal 2-0 over Manchester United. I feel fantastic. Sorry for the late content. No football phone in tonight. We'll do it tomorrow, but I had to do the immediate match reaction video because I am so happy. David Holiday, welcome to the show, says, what a big win. Over the moon about that. We gave them nothing. They looked really vulnerable, and Big Willie even scored off his bum. Yes, David. Thank you. Thank you for the comment. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I mean, yeah, look, we scored twice from corners. It was a very comfortable night out. Light work in the end. A bit of a training session, I felt. We never really got going. Couldn't get out of first gear in that sort of first half. United, to their credit, played okay. You could see that Ruben Amorim, his first defeat, by the way, that's always going to be in the record books at the hands of Arsenal. Ruben Amorim has got them playing a 3-4-3. They had a nice structure. They were pinging the ball about fairly confidently in that first half, but they did shut us out. And it took 2 set pieces, 2 corners for us to get the 3 points. And now we sit third with 28 points. Level with Chelsea and 7 behind Arne Slot's Liverpool. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's go back to the chat. Shoria, welcome to the show, says, you may outsmart Arteta, but you can't outsmart Nico Jova. P.S. Not an Arteta hater. You don't need to clarify, my man. Nico Jova, what a signing. What a coach. What a cheat code. You know, there are going to be games where you cannot break that door down from open play, and you need to get every bit of competitive edge that you can, and he is doing the business. Pete, welcome to the show, just says, woohoo! Love it, Pete. Donald says we've cut the points lead to 7 points. Come on, you Gunners. Yembele's in the house. Yembele, really lovely to have the post-match burger with you, my man. Good evening, everyone. Good to win, and 3 points. Didn't get out of second gear. You're right, man. We did. It was a walk in the park. Really sort of, light work, easy work tonight. Dr. Hank Venture, you're effing shit. I don't even know why I'm blanking it out. You're fucking shit was echoing on the TV. Fantastic chant. You know, my I'll see you and raise you, Dr. Hank. My favorite chant, it was not quite a chant, but it was every time we had a corner towards the end of the game, it was like, oh, he's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Louis, lovely win. Happy birthday, Louis. Hope you had a fantastic couple of days. Tell me how your birthday went. Trevor Bibbin says, good evening, FK, 2-0. Louis also coming saying, Kivior was so good. Arteta trusts his squad. We'll talk about Jakub Kivior towards the end of the show. Flipdoc, evening all. Love it when the crowd goes crazy when we get a corner. Opponents must dread it. That was the point that I was trying to make. You know, we're getting to the point now where opposition teams know it's coming. They just don't know how to handle the heat. And we've got this sort of weird routine where our players sort of gather at behind the back post, and they sort of dart in towards the near post, the middle section, over the goalkeeper, and it's chaos, carnage in the box. It's inevitable. It's unbeatable. It's unplayable. You can't escape it. I love it. Flipdot, welcome to the show. All the R's says, good evening, everyone. It is indeed beautiful. It is indeed beautiful. Arsenal fans in fine spirits on the way home, despite the rain. Donald says, Saliba the beast. What a performance from William Saliba. Gabriel Magalhaes, of course, injured and not available to play tonight. Neither was Ricardo Calafiori. But Saliba with a a monstrous performance at the back. Kevin Koziel, welcome to the show, says United fans, Cope is unreal. Inject it into my veins. Look, United fans, I think they've got good reason to be excited because under Ten Hag, they were going nowhere. And it's a real shame that that association, that relationship came to an end. Ruben Amorim is obviously a promising coach. He has an identity. Sporting have been playing that way for so long. And you can see it's clear. 3-4-3, one or two players from Man United past have come back in and they seem to be enjoying a bit of a renaissance. You know, Mason Mount being an example. They're going to be a good team. They're going to, you know, they're going to rise. They're going to climb over the next sort of year or two. I'm sure of that. But yeah, they are in a bad mood tonight, and it's nice. He scores with his ass. He scores with his ass. William Saliba. He scores with his ass. He scores with whatever body part he wants to. Nico Yova for the Ballon d'Or, shouts Shoria. Why not? Has a coach ever won the Ballon d'Or? Can a coach even win the Ballon d'Or? Flipdoc says Nico Yova is the 12th man. Hang on a second. Is this true, Josh? Arteta struggling with his zipper. We are so back. Is that true? I didn't get to watch the game or any of the footage from Amazon Prime. But Josh Miller, if that's true, that is elite. Talking of Amazon Prime, Louis says Amazon Prime TV coverage is so much better than Sky Sports, by the way. Well, the good thing about Amazon Prime is that you get to watch the highlights and the whole match back again straight away as soon as the it's off the air. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Cuddled up to my hot water bottle tonight in bed as the wife snores away. James Tanzi, yes, FK, always great to beat that lot. It is so good to beat that lot. We've enjoyed walking them like our dogs over the last couple of years. Easy points, easy feast. Jack Priest, welcome to the show. FK, you're sounding better. Question, is that question? First time in the North Bank today and 2 goals in there. Just got back home. Jack, I hope you enjoyed your first time in the North Bank. Were you North Bank upper, North Bank lower? It does make a difference. North Bank lower is where it's at. And thank you for that, man. I have been struggling the last few days. I am on antibiotics. And that's just reminded me I've got to take today's pill before I go to bed. Flipjock says when we cheered when Anthony came on, I mean, honestly, that was like, United were just taking the piss at that point, weren't they? Imagine being a United fan and you're chasing the game at, a former rival, Arsenal, and you're losing the game, you're chasing desperately, and you bring on Anthony. You may as well just get back on the tube and just get back to Surrey, right? Galvo, welcome to the show. Says United fans having meltdown, calling a set piece FC and calling Arteta Tony Pulis, all while they came to us with a back five. It was a 3-4-3, but out of possession, yeah, they restored. They went back to a back five, and they just couldn't cope in the end. Elroy, welcome, says how good was Saliba, FK? Just love when a central defender picks up the ball for a slaloming run through the midfield. Monster. Yeah, shades of Vieira. Vieira used to do that. Remember him? Tristan Guest, we're going to pay a lot of attention to Declan Rice's delivery of corners. Is the best I've seen by far. Mate, if David Beckham were taking those corners, we wouldn't have been surprised. But Declan Rice, central midfielder, number 6, curling it in with such zip, such accuracy, such pace and whip. Beautiful. Josh says the clip is out there. My friend, you need to DM that to me immediately on Latte Firm. T, welcome, says really enjoyed tonight. 2-0 flattered United. We were great. Do you know, I kind of wish that we were a bit more aggressive. Like, I know the first half was actually quite flat, quite lackluster from both teams. It's fairly even. I was really hoping that we'd score like the first goal and score early. And I wanted to take United to town because I just don't think they're very good. Slightly worried when our reliance on corners. Yeah, I feel that, but I think, as I said at the start of the show, you can't win all games by scoring beautiful goals from open play. Sometimes you're going to need to take advantage of what you're presented with. And as a team, we generate lots of corners, lots of free kicks in dangerous positions. And it's about competitive edge. So I've got no problem with that at all. My moment of the game was when Anthony was subbed, the roar from us. Yeah, it was brilliant. Shoria is asking if I'm on amoxicillin. My meds are up there, but I'm allergic to penicillin. So if that's the one penicillin, I'm not. It's something, purple box. I'll let you know. Jim Wood Snelling says, Apaz on Spanish TV, the commentators were repping the opening music from the original Jaws movie at every corner. Oh, I love that. Oh, brilliant. Imagine being an opposition player and the home support love you coming on. Yeah, that was to your point about Anthony being subbed on. Look, keep the chat live, keep the chat coming. I'll get through as many of those as I can. Well over hundreds of you watching live now across all platforms. Very, very grateful for your support. Like the video, get involved in the socials, get involved in the chat, and it is to the slides that we will go. Look, going into today's game, I was really confident, and there's the headline: training session, because it was. We didn't get out of first gear. It was really easy. I know we couldn't really, lay a finger in that first half, but it was training session stuff. It was slow. It was easy. It was just a walk in the park, and we got what we wanted in the end, which was 3 points, and we sent them back in. I went into today's game feeling really optimistic, feeling really confident. I thought Newcastle would do something. Very nearly didn't do something, but I thought they'd do something, and I thought we'd win tonight. And actually, I've come home and I'm exhausted because, I mean, what is an 8:15 p.m. kickoff about? Come on, I know television coverage is important, and the armchair fan is king, and we want to maximise as much coverage as possible on an evening. But 8:15 kickoff in London, in the rain, and to get the tube anywhere near home. I mean, it's gone past midnight. I've got to be up in 6 hours to get the kids ready for school and go to work. I mean, it's not easy. But yeah, I thought we'd do it, and we did. When the team news came out, real surprise. David Raya in goal, Timber we expected at right back, Saliba we expected, but Kivior and Zinchenko. What? Declan Rice, Partey and Ødegaard, Saka, Martinelli and Havertz, and of course Ødegaard was also a doubt, given his wife is expecting their first child, and she was due to go into labour today. There was a real risk. I know it wasn't publicised, but there was a real risk amongst one or two Arsenal fans on the socials that Ødegaard was going to miss tonight's game, which would have been a disaster. But yeah, look, Jakub Kivior being called upon his first Premier League start this season. Zinchenko being called upon his first Premier League start this season. No Gabriel Magalhaes, no Ricardo Calafiori. I need to stop doing that. No Ricky. Ricky! Injuries, not fit, whatever. And for Zinchenko and Kivior to come in and play as the left pairing on the left side of our defence, against a team that would have enjoyed a new manager bounce, enjoyed a 4-0 win over Everton at the weekend, have this new sense of belief and purpose. I feared the worst and hoped for the best, if that makes sense. So that was unexpected. But I always said to Yem, and I always said to lots of people in the ground that, look, we might concede 1, maybe even 2, but I think we've got enough firepower to just go knocking on that door and, get 3 or 4 at the other end. And in the end, I was completely wrong. Not for the first time. The subs bench: Neto, Tierney, Heaven, Jorginho, Marino, Sterling, Wanyeri, Trossard and Jesus. Mikel Arteta didn't make too many changes tonight. Now, Marino came on. Trossard came on. I thought Trossard looked really bright, really good. And Jorginho came on very late. So United made changes. I thought Mikel Arteta would make a few more, but no. In the end, that was the lineup. That was the finishing team, and we did pretty good. Let's get some of the chat in just before I lose complete flow of this. MR says, "Hey all, loving those corners. Aren't we all, my friend? Aren't we all? Welcome to the show." O'Malley says, United had a 0.31 XG, 0.04 from open play. That is domination. Don't care how we scored. O'Malley, welcome, my friend, and that is a welcome stat. Fahim Hussein says, Ødegaard is the best player in the Premier League. If you haven't seen how silky smooth he is in person, I was nervous about Ødegaard missing today, and I'm so bloody glad that we had him in the starting lineup. All the arts very enjoyable, although slightly concerned that I've eaten too much cheese. You can never eat too much cheese. What cheese are you eating, my friend? And what are you eating that cheese with? Let me know. Mr. Smith, not so long ago, forced rotation was akin to a death knell. We cope so much, better now. Valuable minutes for underused legs is strength, with the bicep emoji. Excellent point there, Mr. Smith. Flipdoc says, Kivior actually had a great game. Are we doing what Arsenal fans do all the time, Flipdoc? Did he really have a great game? I thought he had a good game. Actually, I think he had a better game than we expected him to have, if that makes sense. It's probably a bit harsh on him, but look, I don't know if he had a great game, but he had a good game, and for coming into a high pressure game like this, a game against a team that is Manchester United, and on paper it's a big fixture. He did well. Centre back is definitely his position. Yeah, it's nice to see him play actually at centre back. Left centre back at that. Afsar's just shouting hello. Welcome to the show, my man. Social Join says 0 corners versus our 13. You can't expect to win a game without any corners. Yeah, look, the stats are there. Arsenal create more corners than most teams, and we need to get that competitive advantage. Nawaz, it is so good to see you in the chat, my man. He says, FK, what did you think of the atmosphere at the ground today? I think it was the quietest game I've heard against United. It was really flat, bro. And I put it down to late kickoff. Look, 8:15. People have had a long day's work, or university, or whatever. Kids, obviously, not too many kids in the stadium because it's way past bedtime, and travel logistics on the way home. If you've got school the next day, nightmare. It was raining. It was cold. Probably lots of new faces, particularly visitors, because this sort of fixture will attract lots of tourists who, sort of, and that's nothing against overseas fans, but you would typically get tourists in and around London. They might want to go and see a spectacle. They might not be into football so much, and they've just gone just to kind of experience it and see it, because they're willing to pay black market money. So yeah, look, the atmosphere was probably flat for a number of reasons, and it's a shame because I felt that kind of spread to the pitch in the first half. The boys were really flat that first half. I think both teams ended with no shots on target in that first half. So that kind of just summarizes, how the pace of the game went. But I hope you're well, my man. It is lovely to read from you. And do stick around for the rest of the show. Afsar Gunnar says, Mo Salah is probably the best player in the Premier League. Just incredible. What a player. We know how good he is. The guy is frighteningly good. And actually, the scores were filtering through. They don't show Amazon Prime footage in the stadium. They show Sky and BT or TNT, but they don't show Amazon Prime. So it was really frustrating. But at 1-0 up, the score sort of filters through the crowd. Everyone starts going nuts. Then, of course, we get into halftime. We're 0-0. We're chasing. Then second half, the focus is on us. And then all of a sudden, randomly, I just hear sort of 2-2. Liverpool have equalised. And then the dagger, which came from the stadium announcer for the latest scores at halftime. It was like Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3. And everyone was like, oh, there's only 8-9 minutes to go at St. James's. Mo Salah's done it, blah, blah, blah. And then the news of the equaliser, people just shout in the crowd, 3-3, Fabian Schär, oh my God, everyone starts going mad. And we're like, what, really? Is it? Everyone's getting their phones out, having a look, 3-3. And then literally Timber goes and scores. Absolutely fantastic moment. Just a great moment. But Mo Salah is tremendous. T says, really hope Odegaard, a lady chomping through a hot curry right now. We really hope Odegaard's lady is chomping through a hot curry right now. We need the captain for the weekend. Yeah, listen, Mrs. Odegaard, if you're planning on having the baby, now would be an ideal time, my love. Yeah, just have a birth of a baby tomorrow, maybe Friday, maybe even Saturday, and just give the big man some time to get back into training because we need him on Sunday because we're away at Fulham. Donald says, can see a refreshed Arsenal side in the business end of the season when needed, and Liverpool likely running on fumes. Liverpool have had a phenomenal start to this season. I'm not going to knock it. I'll save all the banter for the social media. They are doing some phenomenal things. And look, 3-3 at Newcastle is still a good result, and they were minutes away from getting the win. We must not overlook that. But they cannot sustain this pace for the rest of the season. It's a wild trajectory that they're on. They will drop more points, and it's the Merseyside derby next. The last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison. Sean Dyche masterclass. Anajit, welcome to the show. Both Arteta and Amorim know the qualities of each other. Too tactical, too respectful for the good. Do you know what? That's actually not a bad shout, Anajit. I think that first half was like a game of chess. Arteta is building his career, first managerial job. He's learning, he's evolving the team that he's building season on season. Ruben Amorim's been around the game as a coach for a similar amount of time, but he's obviously proved himself in the Portuguese Premier League. And you can see a tangible difference in the way United play already. If I'm a United fan, I'm thinking, okay, look, we've lost at Arsenal tonight, but there is a shape, there is a structure, there is a game plan, there is, we're doing stuff. Like they were pinging the ball about in that first half really comfortably, and they didn't let us get a single shot on target, which might be the first time that's happened at the Emirates this season. So, look, they're on it, and so maybe that's why it was a bit of a game of chess. But you in games like that, when it's tight, you need competitive energy to get the advantage from set pieces. So look, let's move on through the slides. Keep the comments coming. Set piece FC. And isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful to see Jurrien Timber score his first goal for Arsenal? Ladies and gents, boys and girls, remember, this is a boy who came to Arsenal, looked really impressive in his first 3, 4, 5 appearances for the club in friendlies and whatnot, and then had a horrific injury in the first game of the season, missed the whole season. The whole season. And to come back, and not only to come back, but to come back and nail down a position in the starting 11 and have fans talk about you as if this guy is the real deal. He's here to stay. Like, is Ben White ever going to get back in the team? Those are the sorts of conversations that we're having, certainly in the terraces, and I've seen on social media. And look, I know defenders, you don't really, count on them for goals, but it's a nice moment for him. His first Premier League goal, his first goal for Arsenal in a big game. And he enjoyed it, and he wheeled away in front. In fact, I think I've got the video. Me and Yembele. I was taking photos of our corners and the sort of setup because I wanted to talk about it in a late night latte. But check this out. There you go. I'll upload that. I'll upload that on the socials. But Jurrien Timber scoring that goal, really wholesome. Very sort of Steve Bold at the near post esque, running in, glancing sort of flick on into the net. Beautiful. 1-0, just inside that second half, and that was a breakthrough moment. And like I said, I've said it a couple of times already in tonight's show, so I don't want to repeat it. But you're going to get games where it's just stalemate. You can't break the deadlock, and you need something from a set piece or a bit of luck or a bit of fortune, a deflection or whatever, to get the opener. And we did, and we deserved it. We really deserved it. So fantastic to see Jurrien Timber get his first goal of his Arsenal career. Matthew D'Souza, just talking about Kelleher, finally making error. This motherfucker, what a goalkeeper he is. I mean, like, has he always been this good? This sort of backup goalkeeper that Liverpool have got? But wow. And I'm so pleased. I saw the highlights on the way home. He made an absolute clanger for that last goal. Long may that continue. Dan Smith, evening governors. Have I missed much? No, not really. 15, 20 minutes just looking into tonight's game. We're just starting to talk about the goals. Welcome to the show. Doug Wagner. Everybody has a plan until you get hit by a Yova. Indeed. Trevor Bibbins just talking about Liverpool as well. Everton's win tonight will give them confidence. Yeah, I think they spanked whoever they played tonight, 3-4-0. Going into the match, they are on a positive. And Kanate, Kanate is injured, remember? He's out for a few weeks, so we shall see. Donald also saying, Timber looked brilliant in his off-the-bench appearance on the last day last season. Shows what a great player he is, literally every single game. I hope he stays fit. Marvelous player. T saying, I love Timber. He deserves a song. The video of Gabrielle's little daughter singing his song. The players love having their own songs. It really does filter through. Yeah, listen, get your creative juices flowing. Come up with a song for Jurrien Timber. Flipdog, thank you so much. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And I'll go one stage further. 3 of our Patreon members were able to go to the game tonight just because they're Patreon members. Arsenal versus Manchester United. It's not easy to get tickets for those games, but as I've said for 3 months now that Patreon has been going, if you want access to match day tickets, if you want to win free tickets, sign up for the price of a coffee every month, £4, I think, if you're in the UK. And of course, I refuse to work with betting companies, and it's a massive help to the channel. Dan Smith in the house says, I forget which game, but I remember Timber recently had a goal disallowed for a tight offside. Can't remember that. Remind me of the game, chat, if you guys know. He came close to scoring against West Ham, didn't he, at the weekend? So really, really pleased that he's scored. The second goal came, but it came after United actually almost had a chance. And I can't believe I've not mentioned this or had a photo for it, but David Raya made a really great save from a free kick that they had. I think that was at 1-0. Bruno Fernandes chipping it across, and I want to say De Ligt or Maguire or one of those slabheads, heading it across the goal, and David Raya pulling out a great save with his left arm. And then, of course, a few minutes later, we get our second corner, this time whipped in by Bukayo Saka, and the ball literally goes in off William Saliba's bum. And if anybody, I don't know, for you guys watching on TV, did they show any replays of Højlund and Saliba sort of grappling with each other at every corner? There were 2 or 3 where I thought, penalty. Like, Højlund is literally fouling Saliba every time he had his arms around him, was not letting him run into space, blah, 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 blah. I mean, Saliba got the better of him every time because he's just bigger and stronger and just sort of chucked Hoyland aside as if he's a plastic toy. But yeah, refs have got to smarten up on this because Hoyland was really trying his best to just he wasn't even looking at the ball, just stopping Saliba, arms all over him, searching, grabbing onto his shirt. Just not good. Just not good. Flipdoc says Raya is continuing his phenomenal form this season. Raya tonight, yeah, he made that save. His distribution of the ball is frankly ridiculous. Like, I can't help but get nervous, and I don't know if it's because of where I sit or my age or just the way that I am with PTSD. Like, every time the ball zips back to Raya and the ball is sort of in the direction of travel of the goal, my ass goes. Like, I'm not gonna lie, chat. Like, I can't even look sometimes. I'm just like, oh my god, that's just too close. But his control and then the way he just passes the ball, whether it's like a 30-yard ping or a 70-yard crossfield or just a boot up front looking for the number 9, the chuck it in the mixer target man type, or he's just zipping balls to his left back, right back. He's so calm. He could probably play outfield for a much lower league team in the UK. Like, I think he's a ridiculous footballer, and he's absolutely made me eat my words. Baby Verge, welcome to the show. Says, just so glad that Mikel didn't move Timber to the left side, thus maintaining our right side dynamics. Yeah, I think that's important. Our left side was really fragile today. Zinchenko, Kivior, and Martinelli, and I'm glad it was just the left side that was sort of dysfunctional again. You don't disrupt too many positions in the team. T says the ability to bring on Jorginho in the closing stages is a real squad flex. Genuine quality as a third choice DM starts for most PL teams. Look, Jorginho has really impressed me in the last couple of games. There's some Arsenal fans that just want to see him moved on, aren't happy to have him in the squad, but he's got a role to play. And if he's finishing games and taking minutes out of other players' legs, that's good. Let him do that. He's a model pro. He works hard. He's great. Really, really great. Adam James Welch, welcome, says, was the hardest darts game I've played tonight. Finished my game, then we scored. Then I marked, then we scored. What an evening. What an evening indeed, Adam. Welcome to the show. Christopher Bill says, Raya is top. He is top. He's absolutely elite. Absolutely elite. So look, 2-0, 2 goals from corners. And this is the rhetoric that we're now hearing. I had to use this photo as much as it makes me want to vom. And then a really neat thing, courtesy of Now_Arsenal, someone's made a little graphic up about Nico Yova being the employee of the month. He was my man of the match tonight, ladies and gents. What a man. The purpose of the Stoke City Tony Pulis sort of Photoshop there is that I think Dimitar Berbatov has been on Amazon Prime Video, and he described Arsenal as, the new Stoke City. Frankly, that's bollocks. But if we are developing competitive edge in this day and age, and we know what the fine margins are, to get goals from set pieces when we are a team that creates so many set pieces is a bit of a no-brainer. And actually, most games, we're not relying on set pieces. Most games, we play fluid football. We tear teams apart. We control. We dominate. We suffocate. We're very far from set piece FC. We're very far from being the new Stoke, and Dimitar Berbatov, I think, is just full of envy. Tottenham reject. Nico Yova, though, what a man! I don't think I'd ever sell him. I don't think I'd ever let him go. What an addition to the squad he's been. And I'm not a football coach, obviously, but when I watch the corners, I still don't get what it is that we're doing. Like, I know there's the movement towards the back end of the goal, and then they take it in turns and they slalom in out of the defenders and put pressure on the goalkeeper, and the ball is whipped in beautifully into danger areas. But like, I don't know how he makes it work so well. It's wild. T says, by the way, Pulis was a triple plus at his thing. If we could turn Declan or whoever into a Rory Delap on the throw-ins, why not? Yeah, listen, Tony Pulis was good at what he did, and I can kind of see it as a compliment, but I think Arsenal are so much more than that. And to pigeonhole Arsenal as a set-piece team or a corner team, I think is massively disingenuous. It's just naughty from Berbatov. He knows exactly what he's doing. Slipdoc says, an ex-Spurs player insulting Arsenal, colour me surprised. Yeah, Mikel Pulis. Yeah, it made me laugh too, to be fair. Donald says, check out Jorginho's interview for the Rio Ferdinand podcast. Top stuff. I will do that, Donald. Presumably that's on the old YouTube channel. Flipdoc says, Jova is as invaluable as Saka, Erdegaard, and Saliba at this point. We are definitely not Tony Pulis anything. Yeah, Doug, we're not. And you know what? I want to move away from this slide because it's making me feel kind of queasy. Let's talk about this guy. Oh, what a player. Declan Rice. What did you think of his performance, chat? He was the Arsenal Players' Man of the Match, according to the website. What a player we have on our hands. And, you know, I've been saying on these match reactions in the last 2-3 weeks that he's probably due a rest. You know, I'm really glad that he had the rest, obviously, during the international break, and he's been playing with a broken toe. But, you know, cast your minds back to when we signed him from West Ham after their long season into European competition, and they won that European tournament. Then he signed for Arsenal. Then there was England duty. Then he had another season with Arsenal, and there's just not been any rest. And we know that he's an endurance athlete. We know he's box to box, ever present, 40 plus games last season for Arsenal. But he's been a little bit flat at the start of this season. And now that he's, you know, sort of post rest, he was brilliant against West Ham. And tonight, absolutely just a brick wall, shutting everything down. No one got past him. Nothing got past him. He would just, like, you know, you'd see, like, from my view, so I'm sort of North Bank lower, so I sit behind a goal. I sit behind David Raya's goal in the first half. And every time United tried to sort of move the ball or try to break all out, just out of nowhere, a big right foot of Declan Rice or a big left leg of Declan Rice. Just, he's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And tonight, what a performance. And, you know, we mentioned it earlier. Like, he's not just about defensive midfield. He's not just about trying to get us, you know, in our build-up play. His set-piece delivery is phenomenal. You know, I make no joke. Like, if David Beckham was whipping in some of those corners, we'd all be like, wow. But, you know, that it's Declan Rice is insane. Christopher Bill says the delivery into the area from either side from our corners is so elite. Look, Bukayo Saka one side, Declan Rice the other. Tremendous. He also goes on to say that Declan Rice stepped up tonight, man. Beasted that midfield. We got him half price. That's it for him. You know it. You know it. Afsar Gunner says Rice is back because he had his rest from England. Yeah, listen, he's a human being. You know, he plays at every England international, friendly, tournament, every game that we play. You know, every now and again, you need to give these guys a week, 2 weeks, in which it kind of goes back to the point about Jorginho. If he's in the squad, he is a capable player to come on every sort of 15, 20 minutes when the game is, you know, high and gone. Give Declan Rice those minutes rest. It's really important. And it just says, what energy? He's a machine. Rice was all right, but his shooting is whack. Come on, Thomason. Come on, man. Don't be like this. I know you're Arteta out, but you must have enjoyed tonight, and you must have enjoyed Declan Rice's performance. Come on. Rice was much better than all right. Flipdoc says Unreal Engine on Rice. Dan Smith says, I think Rice has been overly criticised for his start to the season, mainly for his ridiculous second yellow. Yeah, I buy that. Afsar says both Rice and Saka stayed away from England, so they're back. Keep our players away from international football. You're right, your first point. They did stay away from England, and they are back, and they look fit and fresh. I don't necessarily agree with the keep our players away from international football. You can't knock a man for wanting to play for his own country. You just can't. It's the, you know, the peak, the pinnacle of your career or your profession, to be able to represent your nation in whatever it is that you do, if it's competitive or as a friendly, to rep your nation, to rep your country, to represent your people. You can't knock that. So yeah, I don't know how you sort of achieve that. Fewer fixtures would be a start, but yeah. Larry is in the house just shouting, yeah. What's happened to Martinelli? Says Jags. That's a good question. He struggled tonight. And I think he also came up against sort of 50-50 balls or through balls against both Maguire and De Ligt, and he just chickened out. Like, he needs a bit more courage, needs to be braver, needs to really chase and work hard, but he's having an up and down season. I think it's got to be this season. We've just got to decide. Either he's going to be our long-term left wide forward and we're going to stick with him, irrespective of what happens, or, you know, I hate to say it, but maybe the future is one without Gabby Martinelli. I don't know. Got to think about it. This is a great shout. Gorka87 says, only last month Arteta was apparently the next Mourinho. I'm all for Arteta perfecting all different styles of football. What a coach. Indeed. I don't remember Mourinho going to West Ham and spanking them 5-2. I don't remember Mourinho, playing with the pizzazz that we played last year and the goals that we scored. 13 goals in 3 games we had prior to tonight, 15 now in 4. I don't think he ever sort of got those sorts of numbers. Christopher Bill says, I understood Martinelli starting over Trossard, Sportzinchenko. Yeah, I buy that as well. But Martinelli's got to get firing, man. He needs a few more goals and assists because the clock is ticking. And this is something that I really loved. Chat, I'm sure you guys have all seen this, but this is really wholesome because the 2 guys on the right, we know how fantastic they are. Gabriel Magalhaes, absolutely unbelievable. Ricardo Calafiori, what a player he's been. And Jakub Kiwior has been resigned to being the backup centre-back. You've only got the young lad Heaven on the bench. Kiwior probably would never have expected in his wildest dreams that he would have finished the game against Liverpool and started against Manchester United this season. Like, Kiwior is what, 5th, 6th, 7th choice defender? If you think about, the fact that you can play Ben White and Tomiyasu, who neither of whom are around, of course. And you've got the centre-backs that we've just mentioned, and Timber can play in there as well. Kiwior's probably low down the pecking order. But he played well tonight. I don't think he was great, but he played well. He came in, did the job. And I love seeing this because Gabriel to go up to him, acknowledging that, you know what? I know I was out tonight, but you did a great job. You did a good job. You played well. You helped the team. We got the 3 points. We got the clean sheet. It's really wholesome content. And I'm so glad that the club pictured this at the end. They got the photograph because it means probably the world to Jakub Kiwior. He wants to represent Arsenal and play for Arsenal as much as he can. And Gabriel Magalhaes is not going to be around for every game that we play. So he needs to know that we've got the depth in the squad to compete. So really wholesome content. And as Flipdoc says, the Arsenal are just good vibes. That's it. Thomasin, come on, man. Martinelli is not a fraud. Come on. Charles Sherian says, hey, FK, United looked mediocre. Amorim has his work cut out for him. They seem to just dim out when Arsenal ups the ante just a bit. I think that's fair. United are bang average. They are an abysmal team, and they're in a complete disarray, top to bottom at that club. But you can see in the 3 games that he's had, Ipswich, Everton, and of course tonight, that there is an identity and a structure and a setup and a style of play. But yeah, they're just so bad. They're so bad. Let's move on. So what does it mean? Well, I think you've got to trust the process. There's a couple of reasons why I've sort of said trust the process on this slide. First up, Manchester United are becoming our dogs. We are taking them for walks in the park when we fancy it. There's a stat going around that Arsenal haven't lost a Big 6 game since April 2023. So that is almost 2 years, something like 560 odd days. That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Do you remember the period that we've all lived through when we couldn't get a win against the Big 6? Do you remember that? Now look at us. Look at us. No, but now look at us, genuinely. The City draw, going away to, beat Spurs, Chelsea, getting the draw there. Are Newcastle a Big 6 club? I don't think they are they? Because otherwise that stat is wrong. But if they're not a Big 6 club, then, we've done really well. I don't think they are a Big 6 club, are they? Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, City, Spurs, United. Yeah. So look, 4 wins on the bounce against Manchester United. Easy work, light work, 3 points. We knew it was going to come, and it did. And what does it mean for us in the league title race? Well, there you can see, look, Liverpool, they have dropped points tonight at St James's Park, as I thought they would do. But none of their fans agreed, of course, so social media was pretty amusing. Chelsea are a problem. They won handsomely away at Southampton. Southampton, of course, reduced to 10 men. They don't look like they're going to go away anytime soon. And then, of course, there's us in 3rd, level on points with Chelsea, but behind on goal difference. And City, who we knew the run couldn't go on for too long, right? 6 defeats in 7 for Pep. but they've come out and pumped Nottingham Forest. So look, I think the title race is going to get really, really exciting. I don't want to say that all 4 of these clubs are in the title race. I think Arsenal and City will just rise to the top eventually, hopefully in that order. I don't think Liverpool are going to sustain the pace, and I think now without Konate, we're seeing the cracks. And if anything happens to Van Dijk or to Salah, they're done. Flipdoc says we've grown, matured, escaped our banter era, but United are still in theirs. Rafael Kachanov, welcome to the show, says Chelsea have an easy run. They can definitely snag plenty of points. Yeah, they can. They can. Larry, dog walking. Lol. Arsenal already got a dog. Others can tag along, though. Yeah, United have just become my dogs, surely. My blood is growing. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Are we classing United and Spurs as wins against the Big Six? I think they're officially considered as the Big Six, even though United are they even top half the table? Don't know. Baby Verge shouting 4 in a row, indeed. Shout out to Ten Hag, yes. Game recognised game. Bald recognised bald. Did a sterling job at Manchester United. What else is going on in the chat? Chan's in the house. Evening, just going from the game. You and me both, man. What sort of a time is 8:15 to have a kickoff on a weeknight? I mean, I'm just looking at the clock now. It's 1:45. I've got to be up at 6:30 to get the kids ready and to go to work tomorrow. I'm going to be knackered. But you know when you're asleep and your alarm goes off, or you just wake up the next morning and you get that flashback of the game from the night before or the day before? I love that feeling, especially when we win. And I'm going to get that feeling again tomorrow morning. Super. Thomason says it's going to go down to the wire again. Well, that's better, Thomason. I think that's better. It is going to go down to the wire again. Liverpool got some very tough fixtures to play, and we've played a lot of tough fixtures already. Nassif says Kivior was excellent. He was good. He was good. I can't say he was great. Can't say he was excellent. Can't say he was world class. He did well. Let's just let's encourage him. He did well. Chelsea may keep up until they visit the Emirates. Chance is worth it. Yeah, listen, the journey's home, being caught in the rain, it's all priceless, man. When we won the game, it's such a good feeling. And Chance says he was shooting at the game. Lower North Bank, by the way, is his handle on socials. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, get involved. He does some work with Arsenal. His photography is insane. And I actually use one of his photos for our thumbnails when we do the late night lattes on this show. So look, the pics are dropping on the socials tomorrow or Friday. Adzi welcome says Saliba contract needs renewing. Will only have a year left in the summer. Yeah, Saliba, Saka, the 2 stars. Let's get him signed. Gabriel Magalhaes is set to sign a new contract extension. That is from Hande Verzal, the ITK GOAT. That'll happen very, very soon. Dan says very annoying that Chelsea are decent again. It is, and they've got a really good squad. Really good squad. So it's going to be interesting to see how they sort of cope with that. But they're flying at the moment. 14 games, 28 points on the board. 2 points per game sort of pace. Enzo Maresco has done a great job, and he seems to be keeping a big squad of players happy. But that can't last too long. Everyone's going to want to play at some point. So when do the personalities start coming out? We shall see. Right, I think we're going to leave it there. Thomason says Fulham away is tough. Merseyside derby on Sunday. Is it Merseyside derby on Sunday as well? My blood is growing asks, do you reckon Arsenal beat Fulham? Yeah, why not? Why not? I think we go to Craven Cottage as the informed team, as the favourites for the fixture. No Reece Nelson, because, of course, he's on loan. Smith Rowe obviously signed on a permanent, so he can play. But we should be able to go to Fulham and get a victory. I mean, Fulham play tomorrow night, so they've got 1 day's less rest. The Merseyside derby is on Saturday, says Thomason. And we are playing Fulham on Sunday at 2 a.m. Yeah, loads of love for ESR. Smith Rowe is going to play against us, and the chances are, not just because it's Arsenal, but he's been playing really well this season, to be fair. He's had some really good performances, as has Alex Iwobi, as has Reece Nelson. But Reece doesn't play at the weekend because of his loan. He says he's so conflicted. Now, come on, T. When push comes to shove, and as soon as the whistle goes, you'll be slating Fulham and you'll be slating Smith Rowe. You have to accept it. So, look, it's Fulham next. What a wonderful night. Arsenal beat Manchester United with ease, with comfort. by 2-0 thanks to 2 set pieces. You're going to hear a lot of noise in the next couple of days about how boring we are and how set piece driven we are and how much like we're Stoke City and all that sort of stuff. Ignore it, inject it, cherish it, embrace it. You've got to find competitive edge when the margins are so fine. And that's just what we do. So the title race is very much on. Off to Fulham. Enjoy yourselves. The post-match phone, and we might do one tomorrow night, see what the mood's like. But there'll definitely be a late night latte. And we'll look ahead to the Fulham game in the next couple of days. And like you said, if you fancy supporting the channel, the growth has been phenomenal. If you'd like to become part of the Patreon community and have access to match tickets and win free match tickets, and there'll be a draw this weekend for a pair of tickets to the Arsenal Crystal Palace League Cup quarterfinal at the Emirates on the 18th of December. One Patreon member will just win them for supporting the channel. That's it. Take care. All the very best. Enjoy that walk into work tomorrow, or to university, or to school, or to whatever it is that you do. Enjoy that bounce. We've beaten United. Ruben Amorim's first ever defeat at the hands of Arsenal, and what easy work it was. Until next time, bye for now.